For 13 years, every major moment of my life was quietly destroyed by my own parents. Not loudly, not obviously, but in ways that always left me questioning myself instead of them. Scholarship interviews that mysteriously got lost. Job offers that never reached me. Relationships that fell apart without explanation. Every time I thought I was moving forward, something would pull me back. And I never had proof. Only patterns, only silence. But I still invited them to my wedding. Because a part of me, no matter how small, wanted to believe families don't do that to each other. The venue was full. Over 200 guests. Lights, music, celebration, everything was perfect. Until I stood at the altar and looked into the crowd and saw them sitting there smiling, like they hadn't spent the last 13 years slowly destroying my life. That's when I realized my wedding wasn't the end of their story. It was the beginning of mine. Growing up, I used to believe my parents were strict but fair. That's what I told myself. It's because the alternative was too painful. The truth was harder to accept. It started small. A school competition I was supposed to win, suddenly I wasn't allowed to attend. Administrative issue, they said. I believed them. Then came college applications. One by one, rejection letters appeared. Not because I wasn't qualified, but because my documents were never submitted correctly. I didn't know that. At the time, I just thought I wasn't good enough, so I worked harder. Long nights, extra courses, internships, but somehow every opportunity slipped away at the last moment. A job offer once came through. I remember being so happy I cried. Then my father told me it was rescinded due to verification issues. I didn't question it. Why would I? They were my parents. They were supposed to want better for me. But deep down, something never felt right. Still, I stayed quiet. Because questioning them always ended the same way. You're ungrateful. You don't understand how the world works. You should trust us. So I did, till I stopped getting chances altogether. It's when I realized I had built my life inside invisible walls. Years passed. I rebuilt everything from scratch. New city, new job, new identity almost. I stopped asking for help, stopped sharing dreams, and slowly I started succeeding. Ironically, the moment I stopped relying on them was the moment my life started moving forward. That's also when I met her, my partner. The only person who never tried to fix me, just supported me. When I told her about my past, she didn't dismiss it. She said something I'll never forget. Patterns don't lie. I didn't understand what she meant at first, till we started planning the wedding. That's when things got strange. Again, documents delayed, bookings missing, emails not received. But this time, paying attention. And I started tracking everything quietly, carefully, piece by piece. A pattern emerged. Every sabotage in my life traced back to one thing: access, control, and my parents. At first, I didn't want to believe it, because accepting it meant my entire life had been manipulated. But truth doesn't wait for comfort. It only waits for clarity. And clarity came on my wedding day. The venue was breathtaking. White flowers everywhere. Soft music. Guests smiling. Cameras flashing. Over 200 people had gathered to celebrate what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. And for a moment, it almost felt real, until I saw them. My parents, sitting in the front row, smiling like proud parents of the groom. Like they hadn't spent over a decade quietly dismantling my future. I felt my chest tighten, but I didn't react. Not yet, because today wasn't about emotion. It was about truth. The ceremony began. Vows were exchanged. Laughter echoed. But my mind was elsewhere, watching them, every detail, every reaction. And then I noticed something. They weren't just watching me. They were watching everything carefully, like they were still trying to control the outcome. That's when I understood. This wasn't past behavior. It was ongoing, even now. I waited patiently until the reception, when everyone was seated, when attention was highest. When there was no escape, I stood up, tapped the glass. Silence fell across the room. 200 guests turned toward me, including them. My parents smiled slightly, confused. Thought I was giving a speech. I was just not the one they expected. I want to thank everyone for being here. I started, polite, controlled, and especially my parents. They relaxed, a mistake, because I continued, or showing me something important. Pause, for 13 years. The room shifted slightly. I thought I was unlucky. My mother's smile faded. My father straightened. But I wasn't unlucky, I said calmly. I was being sabotaged. Silence hit instantly. Not just quiet, heavy silence. The kind that changes air pressure. I looked directly at them. Every opportunity that disappeared. Every delay. Every failure that made me question myself. I paused. Wasn't random. Murmurs started in the crowd. My mother stood up slightly. What are you saying? I didn't look away. I'm saying I've found the patterns. That word landed hard. Patterns. Because truth has weight when it's been hidden too long. I checked everything. I continued. Applications, emails, calls, decisions. I took a breath. And every single roadblock leads back to access controlled from inside this family. Gasps now. Real ones. My father tried to interrupt. This is inappropriate. No, I said firmly. This is necessary. I turned slightly toward the guests, because for years I thought I was failing. My voice softened. But I wasn't failing. I looked back at them. I was being erased. Silence again. But this one was different. Nobody knew where to look. Not even them. Then I said the final line. Calm, clear. Today isn't my beginning with you. It's the end of your control over me. I placed the microphone down. No dramatic exit. No running, just stillness. And for the first time in 13 years, they had no control over the outcome. Not anymore. The hardest part wasn't the sabotage. It was realizing how long I accepted it without question. How many opportunities I lost while trusting the wrong hands. How many times I blamed myself for something I never controlled. But truth has a way of surfacing when you're finally ready to see it. That wedding day wasn't just a ceremony. It was exposure, closure, and liberation. Because sometimes the people closest to you don't just fail you. They quietly shape your entire life around their control. And the moment you see it clearly, everything changes. Not instantly, but permanently. If you've ever felt like your life keeps getting pulled back for no reason, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's time you start looking at the pattern. Subscribe for more powerful true style stories like this